Chapter 13. We arrive at the bridge. It has stores and restaurants on both sides. "It's a copy of a medieval bridge in Florence," Elena says, "which always had shops along its sides." Quite a few people are crossing the bridge, mostly couples, but also some families. A father is taking a picture of his brood while his wife tries to hold a large umbrella over them, and to keep them from moving, failing at both tasks. "Hurry up and take the bloody picture," she yells at her husband. "The restaurant is over there," Elena says. Maybe it's the police car parked by the side of the road, or the memory of almost getting killed by a lorry, which makes her say, "Let's cross at the light." The restaurant is just off the bridge and has two large windows with displays of plants. "Good afternoon. Two?" a jolly-looking waiter says when we enter. "Two," Elena says, closing her umbrella and putting it in a stand with other wet umbrellas. "Is that a cat?" the man inquires, pointing at me in the carrier bag and no longer looking jolly. "Yes," replies the high priest. "I'm sorry, but we can't allow animals in the restaurant." "We were so looking forward to eating here," says Elena, in the most obsequious tone of voice I've ever heard her use. The waiter scratches his head. "I have it," he says, jolly once again. "Leave him just outside the door. A splendid idea." Elena and the high priest reply in unison. "Traitors! I can't believe it." "I'll give you a table near the door," the waiter adds. "You can keep an eye on your pet." He takes the carrier bag from the high priest, opens the door, and puts me outside. He leaves the door open a few inches, and I see him seating the traitors at a nearby table. I also see a pink-faced man eating alone at a table next to theirs. He suspends a fork laden with pasta in midair to study the new arrivals. Satisfied, he continues eating, stopping only to finish the last drop of wine in his glass and then order another. The two traitors look over the menu and discuss it. Their table is near enough to the door for me to hear them. "The starters all sound so scrumptious," Elena says. "I think I'll try the baby squid salad. And you?" "I'm torn between the avocado salad vinaigrette and the fried sardines." I'm torn as well, between two courses of action: getting out of the carrier bag, shredding Elena's umbrella, and tightening the scarf around the high priest's neck, or staying put, waiting, and getting my revenge when they least expect it. The waiter returns, and Elena orders for both of them. "I'll have the baby squid salad for my starter, and roast duck for my entree. My husband will have the fried sardines and the pan-fried skate." My stomach rumbles. I look at pink-faced man. Now he's eating a slice of chocolate cake. My stomach rumbles again. I turn my back on the traitors. Watching them stuff their faces will be too painful to bear. It's raining harder. Drops bounce off the pavement and come through the mesh of the carrier bag. Soon I'm not just hungry, but also wet. "Hello, puss." The pink-faced man is bending over the carrier bag and looking at me through the mesh. "How many stars would you give this restaurant?" he asks teasingly. I smell all his indulgences on his breath and look him straight in the eye. 4, I say, loud and clear. His pink face turns red. He straightens up and shakes his head in disbelief. "I shouldn't have had so much to drink. I must be pissed." I meow. He gives a sigh of relief and walks away. "Maybe 5, I say when he's gone a few steps. He quickens his pace, then breaks into a run. It'll be a while before he teases a poor starving cat again. "Rapa Haman," I hear in a whisper. It's Elena. She's bending over me with a small plate in her hand. The high priest is with her. He unzips my carrier bag and places the dish inside. "Well," he says, "we'll leave you to it then." They go back inside the restaurant. On the plate is a fried sardine, some baby squid, a piece of skate, and a slice of roast duck. I take a bite of the sardine and move the morsel around in my mouth, spitting out the bones as I find them. When it's safe, I swallow, thin crusty skin and all, remembering what I thought of doing to Elena's brawly, and the high priest's neck makes me feel guilty. Then I start eating the baby squid and, mercifully, forget everything else. When the plate is empty, I look into the restaurant to see how my good friends are doing. Dessert is on the table, a slice of chocolate cake for Elena, and a small tureen, which I suspect contains creme brulee, for the high priest. She's devouring her dessert, but he's ignoring his, admiring the little bust of Nefertiti instead of eating. Really, Gato Haman, Elena says. Why would an ancient Egyptian want a copy of an Egyptian artifact? And a copy in such poor condition? Really? She takes a sip of coffee. Copy? He says. This is the real thing. A smaller version of the big bust. What? She sprays him with coffee. Are you sure? She asks, after a little coughing. The high priest blots his face. Of course I am. But why is another original bust missing the same eye? I do not know. You realize it's priceless? It's Elena who could learn how to shop at a flea market from the high priest, not the other way around. I just thought it was nice. You'd better put it away. You won't want anyone to know what you have. He calmly rewraps the bust and puts it back in his pocket, then takes a spoon and digs into his creme brulee. I hear the sugar crust crackle on impact, but I wouldn't want any, even if it were offered. I can't take my mind off the high priest's bust of Nefertiti. We're going home with the bust, Elena says when he finishes his dessert and is licking his spoon. It's too dangerous to walk around with it. It might be stolen. You might lose it or break it. I'll be careful. We're going back. She signals the waiter for the bill, and while she pays, the high priest comes out to collect the empty plate. I've overheard everything, I say. He smiles. Do you think I should tell Elena the bust is a fake? What? Why did you tell her it was real in the first place? I did not want her to think she was the only one who knew how to buy. The high priest has brass balls. Too bad he'll lose them when Elena finds out he's lied to her. I'm about to give him my sympathy when she comes out of the restaurant, followed by the waiter. I like cats, he says, taking the plate from the high priest. I even have one myself. I hope he won't hold a grudge. I won't.